Our next performer is where I put my penis when I'm thinking about Pamela Anderson. She is one of only 2 people in this room who have given me a blowjob. That's right, I'm talking to you, Carola.
I'm not gonna make fun of Jimmy this year because, I don't want him to withhold his tiny penis from me. But that's so hacky. He doesn't have a tiny penis. It looks small next to his gigantic balls.
Start with the Jewiest and work my way down. Sarah Silverman is here. Sarah and I actually worked together on the film Take This Waltz, which she was great in. She actually did full frontal nudity in the movie, which was fantastic. It was amazing. I always thought she was very liberal, but it turns out she's actually a giant Bush supporter. Huge.
I saw the movie The Guilt Trip. Seth, what was it like working with Barbra Streisand? And how did you two tell each other apart? Like, did one of you wear a carnation, or was it something like that? Seth's parents actually met at a kibbutz. If you don't know what a kibbutz is, it's a community in Israel where apparently they don't allow abortions.
Sarah Silverman, so amazing, so beautiful. I think you're gorgeous, and I think it's crazy because everyone's like, she's hot for a comic, but I don't agree, because she's not just hot for a comic, she's hot for someone her age.
That's right.
Seriously, Sarah, you were my favorite comic as a kid. And people say it's too late for Sarah to become successful in movies at her age. I, again, do not agree. It's not impossible. I mean, it's not like they're asking you to bear children or anything like that. Because you can't do that.
Right before the show started, Seth rolled a gigantic fatty because that was the only way we could get Jonah Hill onto the stage. Jonah Hill is here. I love Jonah. Jonah is such a Jewy dick. You have to watch his movies through a hole in a sheet. Jonah actually gained 50 pounds for his role in the new Martin Scorsese film because the producers wanted the character to be a Jonah Hill type. But he slimmed down a lot last year. But what Jonah lost in weight, he gained in weight. Jonah, on a scale from 1 to 10, do you own a scale? But seriously, you have had such a body transformation in the past couple years. You have come a long way from just being Sonny and Cher's daughter.
Sarah Silverman's had more ugly men inside her than Comic-Con.
Natasha Leggero, everybody. I love Natasha so much. This is Natasha's first roast, you guys. She's like a little chihuahua because she's teeny tiny and she's feisty and she's filled with Mexican DNA. Just to be clear, when I say filled with Mexican DNA, I mean she's filled with the cum of Mexican people. Like, from tons of Mexican gentlemen coming inside her vast vagina, and also from her guzzling cum. I just didn't want there to be a misunderstanding.
Our next performer is where I put my penis when I'm thinking about Pamela Anderson. She is one of only 2 people in this room who have given me a blowjob. That's right, I'm talking to you, Carola. She is one of the hairiest women on the planet. She is the Zira to my Cornelius. Please say hello to the apple of my eye and the plum in my anus, Sarah Silverman.
I'm not gonna make fun of Jimmy this year because, I don't want him to withhold his tiny penis from me. But that's so hacky. He doesn't have a tiny penis. It looks small next to his gigantic balls. I can't. I'm a ball man. You know how a smell can just totally take you back to a place? Like the other day I went into an elevator and it smelled just like the hallway of my high school. Jimmy's balls smell exactly like my Nana's house. Benson and Hedges Deluxe Ultra Lights and Brisket. God, I miss her. I don't know, maybe it's the other way around. Maybe my Nana's house all these years have smelled like Jimmy's balls. Maybe that's how you know it's the one. I'll never forget the first time I saw Jimmy's balls. They were on Adam Carolla's chin. All right, I'm getting mushy and romantic. I want to thank Jimmy Kimmel for hosting. He's been great. Yes, he's been so great. But I want to thank Jimmy, Adam, Greg, Nick, Andy, and everyone else in the room that Sarah Silverman has fucked. Pam Anderson, wow. Now, I don't really know Pam personally, but I'll never forget the first time I saw her asshole.
And it was rose pink.
I knew she had that special something. I couldn't put my finger in it. She's gorgeous, of course, but even she'll admit that it takes work, I mean, she literally spends hours primping and waxing and bleaching, but enough about her asshole. Let's talk about, say, her vagina. It's the only way you can tell a woman's true hair color. And lucky for you, I actually caught a glimpse of it backstage while she was changing. And her true hair color, bald. Totally bald. A lot of people say, oh, Pam Anderson wouldn't be anyone without her tits. I mean, that's just not true. It's not true. She'd be Paris Hilton. Everybody's doing jokes about B. Arthur has a penis. It's so mean, and I happen to know for a fact that she doesn't have a penis. She has a vagina, okay? She has a big, flobbity, sloppy, bushy, wiry, gray vagina. Courtney Love is here, who I love.
Trying to steal your boyfriend.
I know, it's okay. I was like, it's weird. Like, I was curious to see, like, which Courtney Love was gonna show up. The smeared lipstick, crazy coke-whore, or the violent smeared lipstick crazy coke-whore. Wow. No, I'm so glad she's here. I left my crack in my other purse. You got it, doll.